Welcome to the Strange Take. So, trying to figure out what is considered abuse of a substance. So, what is the world's social look on if you're abusing a substance or not? Now, let's start off with the keyword substance. What is substance? Drugs right away. Yeah. Booze. Of course. Food. Food. Everybody loves the food. How about video games? Those two. So, abusing a substance. Well, I guess video games isn't really a substance, but it is something that could be looked at as, you're abusing it, you're playing it too much, right? Jesus, I'd rather you sniff a whole bunch of cocaine instead of playing those video games all day. Or, you could have only had one hamburger instead of 5, right? Well, maybe not 5, but, taking a big dump, that's for sure. But how about this, right? Hooked on phonics? Just kidding. That's from the 80s. We'll talk about that a different time. But, no, definitely, smoking one marijuana joint, one dupe, that's okay. But if you smoke 2, are you abusing it? How about if you smoke 4 or 5 through the entire day? I guess some people would say you're abusing it. Other people would say, I can't afford to smoke that much. Some people might say, well, how do you get anything done when you're stoned all the time? Right? Stoned. So, is it if you do one little hoot of the crystal of the meth? How about that? Then it's just one hoot. I didn't abuse it. Yeah, exactly. But abusing substances, that could be nicotine, that could be caffeine, right? But when you ask yourself, what substance do you abuse? What thing are you not having any self-control about, right? Well, there's one safe one. It's like, I love to have sex, with my partner or my mate or the one I'm married to. I just love having sex 100 times a day. I just need it. Well, that's an okay. That's because it's not a substance. It's a human being that you're someone you love or care about, and you like having sex with them all the time. So, or you never want to pull it out. You always leave it in when you finish, right? Making a mess, right? But hey, feels good, right? But that would be considered unacceptable abuse of something, right? Because you just love having sex. But now, you're not good, though, if you are loving sex, but with whoever, right? And you're committed. That's not cool. Well, I think there's a lot of people nowadays be like, that's all right, as long as they come home to me. But it's like, they had the orgasm of their life. They made noises like they've never made before, and they're doing it with someone else, though. Can be a little bothersome. I think that, when I was young, I played with that kind of stuff, but when I fell in love, I was like, I'd never share the one I love, ever. It's personal property. I'm abusing that. Abusing the substance of that. But, once again, that's not a substance. That's a human being. How about, I should have maybe started off the podcast with just being addicted to things. Maybe that's more of it, right? But how much drugs is too much drugs? How much booze is too much booze? Like, before I quit drinking, I could take in a lot of booze. I could probably drink a 2-6 in a sitting and no problem, still get up and do some dishes. And to me, that's substance abuse. Because then I quit. And then about a month or two later, me and the wife had a couple glasses of wine. Poof! I was out like a light. Poof! Out. Done, over with. Good night. Over. I was like using some back rub machine on her, all drunk, and then I just passed out, So, 2 glasses of wine, 2 months after quitting drinking, and a 2-6. That was a big difference. Not that, I was drinking the 2-6 all the time, but, anyways. How about, so we talked about how much drugs is too much drugs. Well, I guess it depends on the person and the frequency that you're using them. Same as alcohol. Smoking. How about all them smokers, like the cigarette smokers, right? The ones that have one stick after another stick, gotta get it in the mouth, right? Well, you could maybe, a chain smoker would be an abuser of tobacco, a substance, right? So, lots of things to think about, lots of things to, keep in mind, and possibilities, right? How about, just abusing yourself, taking care of yourself, right? That's kind of a whole different platform, I love nowadays in this modern world, everything has its own little niche, right? Everything's got its own little place. Every incident is its own story. Every battle has its own beginning, It's not so easy as back in the 80s where it's like, well, you're just fucked up. You fuck too much, you toot too much, you drink too much, you sniff too much, you fucking eat too much, So you're fucked up and you need to get the old leather belt on the ass and get straightened out. And, nowadays it's like I got 100 different categories to explain why I drink, or there's 10,000 different reasons why, I enjoy coffee. So we all have our excuses too that we like to make, right? It's like, hey, you shouldn't be out in your garage smoking that cigar, drinking that booze. You shouldn't be doing that. It's not good for you. It's the start of a bad habit, right? No, it's not. Fuck off. Fuck you. Leave me alone. I do what I want. If I don't do this, my fucking brains will just explode inside my skull, right? Because the shit I go through all fucking day. Because of this crazy fucking world, So we compartmentalize things so much more. And there's people out there that think, oh no, it's because of all this research that a couple people have done. That's why. Well, you know what? Research is great, right? But it's also a lot to do with situational, environmental, stabilities of chemicals firing through your hippocampus, which is where all your thoughts happen in your brain. Like the chemicals go through your body, that, chemicals that you create to react to things and to react and be part of your environment or the conversation. Or even like right now I'm talking and there's chemicals firing through my hippocampus, encouraging me to, say this or say that next, right? That's why it's so strange, because my hippocampus probably is not operating properly. And that's why it's a strange take. Anyways. So there's some deep psychological, discussion, right? Everybody likes to have that sometimes. And it's a good question to ask yourself when you look at other people, who's abusing what? And is it a substance, or is it a habit, or is it a person? Is it a possession, a belonging, a piece of wood, a rock out of the fucking dirt? It could be anything, right? There's some strange shit, happens nowadays, right? It's like those guys back in the 90s used to stick a tube in their ass and let a hamster crawl up in there, right? Or gerbil or whatever. Fucking rats or something, It's like, Jesus, they would have done great in the Vietnam War. They were like prisoners of war, when they used to put the bag and the rat in it over your head or in the bucket on your stomach, in the movies. Those Chuck Norris movies. Anyways, the guys, people, girls and stuff that like to let rats and shit shoot up their ass through the toilet paper tube back in the day, right? Maybe they're abusing that, doing it too much, right? I don't know. To me, it's not even strange. That's just their thing, Don't want to be judging anybody. Hey, don't want to be that person that, you're like, here, don't fucking talk to me because you put hamsters, gerbils in your fucking ass, right? And then everyone's mad at you and saying, well, you shouldn't judge that person for wanting to do that, It's a struggle for them, right? So, hey, if you're doing that still nowadays, well, it's your own thing, I guess. Anyways, about heights, right? Anybody get dizzy from heights? I watch some of these kids, and of course here we go off into left field, right? I'm watching this YouTube video on these kids. They climb way up on these fucking cranes. They can overlook the world. You can see the curvature of the earth. They're so high, and they go up there with no safety gear on. There's these guys jumping around on high-rise buildings, and they run, and they slide down this, and it's just like, fuck the camera. You could just vomit watching it, It's just like, oh, I hate heights, obviously, right? It's not my forte. That's why I never became a jet fighter pilot or a famous mountaineer or one of those kind of crazy things. Just stayed with the safe and the simple, right? But I forget what they're called, like Daredevils or something like that. But they climb around and get into all kinds of adventures. Well, when you start watching the fail videos, you see these fucking kids falling off the buildings, and it's like, you can just see it. It's like the reality kicked in. You can see the way their bodies move when they fall off, and it's like, oh my God. It's just, that makes me, right? Even like, ugh. I'd rather eat 2 bowls of raw spinach or, stewed spinach that have been sitting in the fridge with tomatoes on top of it for a month than even look over the edge of one of those buildings. But these kids nowadays, right, they're super brave. And, when I was a kid, big brave thing to do is jump off the big cliff, and into the lake and be the lake cliff jumping guy or drive your car real fast or swing on a rope over a fire pit or, run around in your bare feet all day, whatever it might be, But it's fucking climbing up on these fucking towers is Jesus, So, alright, don't be, kidding yourself, right? Like, it looks exciting, but you'd be a lot safer wearing one of those wingsuits and jumping off some mountain in Austria than what these young fellas are doing. So, if you're religious, God bless them. If you're not, well, their fate's their fate, right? When they have the fail videos, those get like 3-4 million views. It's kind of sick, but I think we all enjoy the moment of reality, and sometimes that's hard to find in this world. As reality, it can be a strange thing when you really feel reality kick in, eh? But anyways, we're talking here, we're talking there, Don't abuse the feeling of reality, maybe. The thrill. Maybe that's what abusing substance is all about. Or maybe it's deeper, running from problems or looking for this moment. And that's what everything seems to be about, is the moment. But anyways, some strange thoughts and some strange things. Living for the moment. Don't be abusing things. And always remember, hey, don't climb up on towers with GoPros on your head. Because these kids have been, they're like little panda bears or squirrels. We're not, most of us. We just fall off. Anyways, everybody, that's some strange take on some strange stuff. And take care. Have a great day.